Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another concept in the digestive system. Next part of the digestive system we are going to discuss. So, human digestive system we discussed it. We started human digestive system consists of alimentary canal, buccal cavity, oral cavity, like that we discussed it, right? Mouth, anus, and the type of teeth, diphyodont, thecodont, and heterodont, incisors, canines, premolars, molars, and dental formula 2 1 2 3 by 2 1 2 3 into 2. Then tartar, what you call one calculus plaque will be formed, gingivitis, and the tongue, taste buds, papillae, and the gullet, pharynx. So these all parts in the last class we discussed, right? In this class, we are going to discuss about the digestive system stomach part. Okay, that stomach and small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, observe very carefully, children. So esophagus is there, right? Esophagus is a tube-like structure. The esophagus is a thin, what you called a thin esophagus, long muscular tube concerned with the conduction of the food. Esophagus main function what? Conduction of the food. Okay, esophagus mainly passes of the food. It's a muscular structure. It shows the peristaltic movements. Now, where the esophagus joins the stomach, observe very carefully. These all points should have to listen very carefully. Important bits. Where the esophagus joins to the stomach, there will be one sphincter will be there. That sphincter is called cardiac sphincter. This cardiac sphincter is also called, or another name of cardiac sphincter is called gastroesophageal sphincter. What I said? Gastroesophageal sphincter. Stomach and esophagus. Where is esophagus entering into the stomach? There gastroesophageal sphincter will there. So this stomach, okay, the stomach, which shaped stomach? I said already, J-shaped stomach. So mainly this esophagus is very helpful for the movement of the food, very little amount from esophagus to stomach. Chyme, bolus, not chyme, bolus. Sometimes when the esophagus is unable to, okay, what will happen? Give a proper passage or any disturbance in the cardiac sphincter, gastroesophageal sphincters, any disturbance not contracting properly during the churning action of the stomach. So what will happen when the sphincter is not acting properly? Okay, at the time of churning action of the stomach, the gastric juice with acid may flow back. So sphincter should have to close always while stomach churning time. Means stomach will mix the food. That time digestion process will be takes place in stomach. Sometimes what will happen when the stomach is doing the work, when the sphincter is not working properly, this cardiac sphincter is not working properly, the food which is there in the stomach will be come out. That time we will feel very, what you call, irritation, vomiting sensation, such kind of feeling we will get. That problem will be called GERD, gastroesophagus reflux disorder. When the stomach churning action is going on, when the sphincter is not working properly, which sphincter? Cardiac sphincter is not working properly, the food in the stomach will be come out with the acid. That problem is called, what you call, come back to the mouth. That problem only called gastroesophagus reflux disorder, which leads to what you call heartburn. Very dangerous heartburn condition will become. Next, stomach. What is the use of stomach? You know very well, the stomach is a temporary storage organ for food. It's a J-shaped structure, right? And located in the, where the stomach is located, upper left portion of the abdominal cavity. The stomach is a temporary storage organ for food. It is located upper left portion of the abdominal cavity. You know, abdominal cavity it is present. And the stomach is divided into three portions. Number one, first esophagus entry, first part is there, and first part of the stomach where the esophagus entered. That stomach part is called cardiac portion, then spondylic portion, last portion, pyloric portion. Through pyloric sphincter, the pyloric stomach will enter into the which one? Duodenum. Duodenum is the small intestine part. Once again, the cardiac portion, first part of the stomach where the esophagus will be entered, then fundic, then pyloric. The pyloric stomach, okay, open it to the duodenum. There one sphincter. Here also one sphincter. Sphincter functions what? Helpful for the sending of food systematically. Okay, periodically allows the partially digested food to the duodenum and also prevents the regurgitation. What is called regurgitation of food. Suppose going back is controlled by the which one? Pyloric sphincters. Understand or not? The inner wall of the stomach. The inner wall of the stomach have folds. The inner wall of the stomach have so many folds. The folds of the inner wall of the stomach consists of, or that folds are called, what is called? Gastric rugae. What you call the inner pores is called gastric rugae. If you take more food, large meal you take, that time this gastric rugae unfolds. Why they will unfolds? To accommodate a large meal. So you are eating too much food, that time this rugae will be open and that food will be accommodated in the stomach. So what is the use of gastric rugae? The gastric rugae will be enlarged and relax when you take large meal and will give accommodate the which one? The food large meal. Understand or not? So unfolds for the large meals. Next come to next important one, that is called small intestine. We are going to discuss about next important part, that is small intestine. So duodenum is there or not? So pyloric sphincter open into pyloric stomach open into the duodenum. There one sphincter will be there. Come to small intestine. The duodenum is the part of small intestine, right? The most important function of the small intestine is digestion and absorption. The most important function of the small intestine. The most important function of the small intestine is digestion and absorption. Digestion and absorption. Okay. Here it is the largest part of the alimentary canal. So the small intestine is the largest part, very largest part of the digestive system or alimentary canal. So this digestion, the small intestine helpful for what? Digestion and absorption. So first there are three parts are there in the small intestine. How many parts are there in the small intestine? There are three parts are there. The first part is called, what do you call the first part? So U-shaped duodenum. Very important. Which shaped? U-shaped duodenum. It occupies 25 centimeters length, and jejunum. Middle one is jejunum 2.4 meters long and ileum 3.5 meters long. Again I am telling to you, the small intestine very useful for the digestion and absorption. The small intestine divided into three parts. What are the three parts? Jejunum, duodenum 2.25 centimeters, and another important one is jejunum 2.4 centimeters, okay, 2.4 meters, and ileum 3.5 meters. Here centimeters, here meters, okay, you can see considered. So this is a very important structures are very important parts. Okay, now there will be another important, the wall of the duodenum. So duodenum is there or not? The wall of the duodenum consists of some glands. The wall of the duodenum, the wall of the duodenum consists of Brunner's glands. What is the use of Brunner's glands? Which secretes the mucus and enzyme. So the wall of the duodenum consists of Brunner's gland, which secretes the mucus and enzymes. Mucus and enzyme, that is important. So ileum is the largest part and the small intestine open into the cecum. So which one is the longest part? In the small intestine. In the small intestine, ileum is there. It's open into the, ileum will open into the which one? The cecum, right? Ileum will be open into the cecum. So duodenum, jejunum, ileum, right? So like this, there will be what he called the structures are there which open into the which one? Cecum. What is a cecum? Cecum is a part of large intestine. So duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Ileum is open into the cecum. The duodenum wall contains the Brunner's gland which secretes the mucus and enzymes. Next, the cecum. Next, ileum. Ileal mucosa is there, and at ileum have mucosa. How many layers? There will be serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa, like that layers are there. The mucosa of the ileum consists of villi. This villi helpful for what? Absorption. So ileum mucosa consists of numerous visceral projections, vascular projections like this. The vascular projections are there in the ileal mucosa called villi. These villi which are involved in the process of absorption, and cell lining of villi, again cell lining will be, again some villi will be there, right? The villi microscopic projections. So visceral projections or vascular projections are called villi. On the villi again small what you called villi will be there. Numerous microscopic projections, it's called microscopic projections are there on the villi. They are called microvilli. So microvilli and villi helpful for what? Absorption. Microvilli is appears like which appearance? Brush border appearance. What is this appearance? Brush border appearance, and increases the surface area. Brush border appearance and increases the which one? Surface area for absorption. The next, another important topic is there. What is another important? Goblet cells are there. Goblet cells. So ileum mucosa also contains ileal mucosa. So ileum mucosa not only contains microvilli and villi, but also consists of goblet cells. These goblet cells and lymphoid tissue is present. The goblet cells and lymphoid tissues. The lymphoid tissues are called Peyer's patches. Lymphoid tissue called Peyer's patches, which helpful for the production of lymphocytes. Lymphoid tissues are called Peyer's patches, which produces the lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, WBC. Crypts of Liberkin. Next, the base of the villi. Very important. So, villi produce what is said? Peyer's patches, lymphocytes. The wall of the small intestine bears crypts between the base of villi. See now, this is a villi, this is a villi, this base. These bases are there or not? These bases are called the wall of what you call the small intestine bears crypts. These are called crypts, right? Crypts of Liberkin between the base of villi. Next, another important one, the large intestine. So, what you called the ileum will be enter into the cecum. So, large intestine consists of three parts. What are the three parts of the large intestine? The large intestine consists of three parts. Number one, what you call cecum, colon, rectum. Okay, the cecum little bit enlarged part is there for the cecum. That is only called vermiform appendix. What is called? Vermiform appendix. Narrow finger-like projection will be there. Narrow finger-like tubular projection called vermiform appendix on the cecum. So cecum open into the colon. Cecum and the colon are very useful in the herbivores. Why? For the cellulose digestion, but not see the appendix not useful at all for human beings, vestigial. But in the herbivores, the cecum and colon very useful for the cellulose digestion. Next, another important point to remember is in the cecum and colon helpful for the present in the cecum and colon symbiotic bacteria is there. These are also helpful for the digestion. So the colon is divided into next cecum after next part is colon. the colon is divided into ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. So the colon is divided into how many parts? Ascending colon, sigmoid colon, transverse colon, descending colon, like that. Ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon also will be there. The now most important there will be what you called ascending, transverse, and descending. They will be there. The colon is lined by dilation called hastra. The colon is lined by dilation. So how many dilations will be called? The colon, those are called dilations, are called hastra. Very important dilations are called hastra. So hastra helpful, sigmoid colon, then open into the colon will be open into the rectum. Rectum, what is the use? The stores the fecus, and rectum will open into the through anus. Rectum open into the anus. Anus is guarded by two anal sphincters, internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter. Internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter will be there. So there are anus is there. The anus is veins and what you call arteries is there. So the veins and arteries are present on the anal columns. These veins and arteries enlarged in the sense some problems will come. So that veins and arteries are called anal columns. So when the enlarged, sometimes some disturbances, some disease cases, these veins and arteries are enlarged, then that is leads to some problems like piles and hemorrhoids. So veins and arteries are called anal columns. When enlarged, what will come? The piles and hemorrhoids will be, diseases will be come. So this is about which one? The small and large intestine. So once again children, when the esophagus open into the stomach, that particular area cardiac sphincter or gastroesophageal sphincter is present. It regulates the opening of esophagus into stomach. When the problem is there in the sphincter, the stomach food will be come out. That problem is called gastroesophageal reflux disorder. The gas acid will be come out through esophagus, again come back to mouth. So that is by stomach heart burning problem will become. So stomach is a temporary storage J-shaped organs. Which shaped organ? J-shaped. So J-shaped organ, and upper lift portion of the, where it is located, upper lift portion of the abdominal cavity. There are different portions are there: cardiac portion, fundic portion, pyloric portion, and duodenum. Everything will be there. The pyloric portion open to the duodenum. There also one sphincter will be there. Pyloric sphincter. What is the use of sphincter? Systematically, stepwise, how much required, that much amount only will slowly will pass the food to next chamber, duodenum. So inner wall of stomach consists folds called gastric rugae. They will unfold when you take the large meal. The small intestine. The small intestine helpful for the digestion and absorption. And the small intestine divided into three parts. Number one, U-shaped duodenum, 25 centimeters, jejunum 22.4 meters, okay, ileum 3.5 meters, like that. There will be what you called duodenum, jejunum, and ileum is there. So Brunner's gland also present, very important one. The wall, especially the wall of the duodenum, consists of Brunner's gland, and also mucus enzymes also will be there. The Brunner's gland secretes the mucus and enzymes. Then cecum, then the ileum mucosa, this ileum open into the cecum. Cecum is large intestine part. The ileal mucosa have villi. Villi have again small villi called microvilli. Both are helpful for absorption. The microvilli is a brush border appearance, increases surface area for absorption. And also this ileal mucosa have goblet cells and lymphoid tissue. Lymphoid tissue is called Peyer's patches or lymphocytes. There will be crypts of Liberkin between the base of villi. Large intestine will be there. Cecum, colon, rectum. Cecum will be open into the vermiform appendix. Then herbivores. Herbivores open into the, this vermiform appendix, and cecum useful in the herbivores. Vestigial in the which one? Humans. Why herbivores this is useful? Because how it is useful? Cellulose digestion. Why? Because cecum and colon contain symbiotic bacteria. With the help of them they will digest the cellulose. So colon have three parts: ascending, transverse, descending. Four parts. Colon have four parts: ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colons. Even S-shaped hastrae foldings are there on the colon. So the colon open into the rectum. Rectum temporarily stores undigested food, fecus, and open into the anus. Anus is covered by or anus is surrounded by two sphincters, anal sphincters, inner and open. So anus supported by veins and arteries, right? Blood supply to anus, veins and arteries. They are called anal columns. Sometimes any disturbance is there in anus, those veins and arteries will be enlarged. That leads to some dangerous problems. What are the dangerous problems? You know very well. Sometimes the blood bleeding will be takes place in the rupture of anal wall or some this what you call anal columns. So that leads to very dangerous problems. They will be called, we are considering piles and hemorrhoids. So what are the need bits to remember? The what you call gastric esophageal sphincter, you have to remember. Next, pyloric sphincter. Then what are the unfolds when the stomach folds, gastric fold, rugae unfolds? What are the parts of the small intestine? What are the sphincters? Then what is the function of Brunner's gland? And what is the function of villi and microvilli? And what is goblet cells? And another lymphoid tissue functions. Then crypts of Liberkin. Okay, these are all functions you have to be, and vermiform appendix function, and symbiotic bacteria. And what is the use of symbiotic bacteria in the herbivores, especially cecum and colon, how it is useful for the digestion, cellulose digestion. Then how many parts in the colon: ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid. So what is hastra and what are the anal columns? So these are all the things you should have to remember. Neat point of view, very useful. Okay children, tomorrow we will be discuss about histology of the gut. Tomorrow topic is histology of the gut.